That's not good. Look at what I just found. It was laying down just like this over here. Look at that etching. This is a coal car tag. Looks like it's 30, number 30. And that is a deep imprint. Could be 80, but looks like 30. This is old school, late 1800s. Wow. Definitely 30. That would go right on the coal car itself. And when it went to the surface, there would be a guy that would be pulling these off. And number 30, we'll say, was Jude, who was me. And he would know, okay, 30, 5-ton coal car, Jude gets credit for that. Really neat. There would just be a nail on the coal car. They would attach that to it. Don't see these often. It's an air door and it's relatively intact. And the entrance we came in from seems to be an air shaft because it pitches upward pretty steeply. And this is at the base of it. So this tells me this was an air shaft, most likely, or an escapeway. And they were keeping this door closed to prevent airflow from going somewhere. There's a 3-piece timber set right there. Massive sketchy. Climb down here. Old air shaft. This is just one big long gangway that extends down. And they have their workings off to the side of the gangway. To the left and to the right, they were working the coal. Here's the coal seam. They didn't rob, which means remove these coal pillar supports, because this is what actually held the roof up right off of the gangway for just about one working. Everything else is collapsed. One working back that way, about 50 feet or so, and one working back that way, about another 50 feet. And they didn't do that because they wanted the gangway to not collapse with rock. Really not good though, look at that. Right off of the main gangway. Ooh-hoo-hoo. There's a birch timber. This is the result of pillar robbing. And it's like that in nearly every working going off of this gangway. Look at that shiny anthracite. And again, there's that airway door. That timber's seen better days. And that is a survey point for the mine maps to know where they were at in relation to the surface and within their coal rights for royalties. Okay, this is very exciting. I know what this is. So this looks like just a nondescript hole in the ceiling, the roof. It's not. Look at how that's flat up there. This was where there was a petrified tree stump from an ancient tree, and it would have been 100% intact, and they dropped that down. They would actually fall out when they would come across these. They hated it because they're so heavy. They're usually heavier than the host rock, and they would just flop out of the ceiling, and they would kill people. Wow! Petrified tree stump. Reverse imprint. Think of it as like a casting. You're just seeing where it sat. I wonder where the stump is. I'll go looking for it. Might be here. That's big too. Well, I went looking for that tree stump and didn't find it. However, I found another one. This is, in fact, a petrified tree stump. can see where it's formed in the roof. And this is what I mean by how they fell down and killed people. Look at that. And that is heavy mineralization. Wow. It looks just like a tree stump. Nice and round. Wow. Yep. 360 degrees round. Ancient. That is a petrified tree stump. You can see where it was formed in the roof. This is amazing. These are incredibly rare. Petrified tree stump. You can see how it's 360 degrees around, preserved. It's not a slab or a piece of one. This is a whole piece of tree. And this is just so amazing because you can look up at the roof and see where it sat and was formed. They're formed on top of the coal, usually, and that's exactly where I'm at. You can see the coal here, for whatever reason, it was preserved as is. And this is not a slab or a piece or just a little section that flaked off. This is completely 360 degrees around, intact. Has all of the proper curvature as to a tree. That's just remarkable. I love it. Look at the outside of the bark. Amazing. You really don't see these often. And look at my foot for scale. It's big. Many hundreds of pounds. Easily. So here's the original petrified stump I found. Well, the imprint of one anyway. And there's the other one. And its imprint. So where there's one, there's usually multiples. This is gross, some sort of green mold. Nasty. Ooh, the timber. This has turned into a quick geology trip. I think this is another stump. I'm rather certain because, yeah, you can see how that pushes down. We're right on top of the coal vein. And you can see right here, that's what it looks like is to be the stump. Now there, I think that's the bark, the mineralization. Whoa, that's a big one. That's big. That would kill you if it came down. So that might be an intact, in place stump. We're not going to agitate that. So that way's out. Amazing roof. Colors. This way continues down. Already walked the whole length of this mine. All the workings are completely collapsed. So you just walk in the main gangway. And here's one of those workings right off of the main gangway. All collapsed out beyond there. Photogenic though. There's the collapse on the right-hand side of the gangway. And one of the first workings off of it. Flame lamp doing its thing, looking for black damp. Had high hopes for this one, but yeah. Fortunately, a decent amount of collapse. Standing in an old section of the gangway, so closer to the entrance, was worked longer ago. And how I know that is, look at how the timber is in the middle of the gangway. They won't be blocking coal cars if they were actively mining here. So once they were done working here, they put up this timber. Very photogenic though. And this is why they put that timber in the middle of the gangway. Worried about that delamination. It hasn't moved though. So they knew they weren't coming back, and they were ordered to pull the coal pillars. That was pulled back there. Here's a slightly intact one. Not that wide though. Would have been at least twice as wide, maybe 3 times wider. That's what happens right here. They pull those coal supports and boom! That roof comes down. Ooh, nasty. Working off to the side. Main gangway. And coal. Very standard looking anthracite mine. Kind of textbook. One of the craziest mines I've ever seen. Roof's bad. Look at this coal mine car. Whoa. She has seen better days. Unbelievable. Super low vein too. This coal mine car though, it's the lowest one I've ever seen in an anthracite mine. Impressive. That's interesting. Look at those 2 timbers. I'm sitting above the 2 top timbers. It's not the best thing in the world. Interesting though. So this is something. It almost looks like it might be a manway, if I was guessing, for workers to travel through. Dedicated travel route. So you can see where the coal has flaked off, and it's showing the shiny anthracite underneath where it's weathered compared to the rest of the vein. This is a manway. It's so low though. I'm literally on my knees, hunched over too, but that opens up. I'm not going through that. One big fossil. Piece of chute. These are some really old school workings off of this gangway. This gangway is ancient. Here's the coal. That timber. I'm not crawling back there. Nope. Some poor soul had to go in there and lay on his stomach or on his side. This gangway, though, for real, very old. Victorian era, I would say, easily. This is off of the gangway. Whoa. They put that timber in with the gobbing. and look at what it did. Can you imagine working back there? This is so spectacular. This is a homemade lunch pail. This poor guy was so poor, he had to make his own lunch pail. Lunch box, whatever you want to call it. That's exactly what that was. Whoa. Oh, that's so cool and so sad at the same time. I don't think it was for tools. Might have been. This is the other side of it. I would say a lunchbox. These are all fossils. Big slabs of fossils. Petrified stumps everywhere. You just walk over petrified stumps in this mine. It's literally like a petrified forest down here. Heading down this gangway still. Just very old vibes. Look at that collapse. Oh, that's a working. No, thank you. Classic collapse. So this is pretty low here in this small gangway. And there's a roof to floor collapse. So this is the point of view that the miner would have had, or miners and laborers. Nasty. Can you imagine being right here when this came down? Imagine being under that. This water bottle is broken at the top and it still has water in it. Probably from condensation, but still. And this is where that happened. I wonder if a rock went flying here and smashed the top of that bottle. Literally left in place from the miners. Doesn't get any cooler than that. Ew. Yeah, look at that. All the sediment in the bottle. I'm not gonna shake it. I'll let it be. So I bet you this guy was chilling right here, drinking his water, and boom! And it blew off the top of the bottle, and he put it down, and he was like, I'm leaving. Gotta wonder. I really like this rock to the right of the bottle. Look at those colors. Must be some iron. I really like this coal mine car. Look at the little hook. I would say that was homemade. The factory did not build that, I would imagine. Looks a little amateur, but got the job done. All petrified. Bag collapse down there. Really interesting spot. Imagine mining that, and this is coming crashing down. I don't think I've ever seen a timber this two-dimensional. I think it's a board. It's still completely two-dimensional. Totally flattened. Melting. A melting board of wood. How would you like to go in there and remove that coal? Which they did. Goes back a ways too. I'm standing up and I'm still hunching my head over. Look at the way that separation occurred above the coal. And those guys went in there to go mine that. Remarkable. Hardcore men. Greatest generations. This looks like something from The Walking Dead. There's a nail with some wire around it. Look at that coal. Taking pressure, blowing out. Oof. Look at these airlines. Unbelievable. What a bad collapse. Oh man, that's bad. All right, so look at this collapse. I don't think I've ever seen one this bad. Nah, I've seen a lot worse. Still, really, really, really sketchy though. There's the coal. Sealed off working with cinder block for airflow purposes. Nice crack going down it. Slightly load bearing. That is some roof fall that has come down. It has stabilized though, so it should be all right. Neat. Mineralization is formed from dripping water on a rock. It's a big slab of rock. That's what happens when you pull the coal supports. Another not so pretty looking collapse in the main gangway, but pretty standard. Kind of vanilla, believe it or not. That working's collapsed out. It just kind of spilled over into the gangway. But that roof up there did come down. This is all anthracite coal. Doesn't look like it, but it's terribly oxidized. And right here you can see where it's flaked off, that oxidation, and it reveals the normal looking, very shiny glass-like anthracite. Very old school workings for that amount of oxidation to occur. Looking down at a timber that would have been standing upright. Well, it still kind of is standing upright, but there's just rock all on top of it. Looking down the gangway. Whoa, that is passable. I've already been over that. It's misleading the way it looks currently, but yeah, not good. Something with the electrical. You can see the wiring there. Look at how that nail got bent. Odd. That's cool looking though. Pretty bad. Look at that slab. Came down like a guillotine. Top, the collapse. And you can see how high it goes. Because that's the gangway. Should all be as flat as the gangway. But it's pretty stable. It's not cracking or anything further. Won't be walking under this, however. This is one of the workings. That's gonna come down. Yeah, this mine needs a back gate. That is the other side of the gangway with another bad collapse. That would have been wide open at one time. Completely plugged shut. Well, coal cars and men would have been passing through this every single day for many decades, maybe even close to 100 years, and yep, all boulders now. Yeah, this mine's in brutal condition off of the main gangway. It's all right in the main gangway. Just another working. Totally toast. Whoa, that boulder. There's my flame lamp for scale. Just flopped down in that working. Oh my Lord. Size of a small vehicle, like a Volkswagen Beetle. That's spectacular. Ooh. Ooh. Main gangway, another little bit of collapse, but it opens right back up. Ooh, that's bad. Ooh. Remnants of timbers. 3-piece timber sets, most likely. Some sort of old box that's rotted away. Nonetheless, that's pretty neat looking. There's some old wire rope. Just another collapsed out working. That's as bad as it gets. And my friends left, so I'm down here alone, and I hear like footsteps, and I heard some sort of voice. It's probably just my mind playing tricks on me, but it's creepy. Very creepy. So we were seeing all that collapse and these workings. Here's the gangway. They pulled all these coal pillar supports back there. However, this has not come down for whatever reason, because that is massive voidage. And it goes even further around this coal pillar where they mined, and it goes a ways back, and then it goes around this. I guess the roof is just more solid here. But that's why you're seeing collapse in all these areas. Just massive voidage. I brought my beam light out just to illustrate as to what I was talking about. See how that goes all the way back. Whew. Yeah, it goes up and over and everything. Unbelievable. Untouched from when they were here. This small narrow gauge railroad spike looks like poop. I touched it just to make sure it wasn't. 3-piece timber set that took weight. That's how I know. Whoa! And look at how that rock is cracking in the wall behind it. Yeah, that definitely took weight. Whew. Down the gangway. Lovely looking timbers though, I must admit. Whereas mine is intact, it is beautiful. Where it's bad, it's real bad. It's the best way I could sum this mine up. So look at this. It would have been straight, going up. A lot going on in this one little area. Still has liquid in it, most likely a water bottle. But it says Rare California. I don't know how to say that. I'm not a wine drinker. And there's an old cinder block wall that they constructed and then would later breach. I assume that's from them breaching the sledgehammer or something. I don't know. Could that be from it becoming load bearing and it just blew out? I don't know. These timbers are cool too. Well over 100 years old, most likely. You know what? I took a better look at this and this isn't that good. This timber is bowing outward. There's a crack in the wall. And with the cinder blocks possibly blown out, ooh, I'm saying that roof might be not the best. So again, there's those cinder block wall pieces that don't look the best. And look at the coal here. I wonder if that's from pressure. Looks like it's blowing outward. What's left of that pillar? Falling apart. Looking further down the gangway. And that's where I'll go. Wine bottle or something off to the right-hand side. Cool. Looking back towards the exit, you can see the collapse blocking some of the gangway in the distance. There's those 3-piece timber sets. My flame lamp with an old Canada Dry pale ale to the right. Some sort of wine bottle. And I think that's a beer bottle on the far left. Old beer can. Old quart or something. Miner's gloves. This was probably placed by the miners to get up in this working. Whoa! Not getting back there though. Sketchy looking timbers too. The one on the far right there is load bearing. The one to the left of it is pretty rancid. Look how skinny it is from the rot. Whew. Not getting in that. Look at the size of that birch tree timber. That was sizable. That's for scale, my mine lamp. Gangway continues. Old working, heading down that way. And up here, like an internal drift, possibly a slope. Go up it. This is utterly amazing. My friend and I found this. This was a box that was upside down, and I flipped it over and I saw writing, and I tried to piece it back together, and I did get it right, luckily. And there's a message. It says something like me or maybe someone's last name up top, blah, 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 is gone in. Stay with, it looks like, him. Call and let me or someone else. If no, I don't know, something. But it's like a warning. It was like, hey, we're going here, and if you don't hear from us, call. Ooh, that's creepy. And that's in chalk. So that's from the miners. I guarantee that's from the miners. So I turned my light off, and I didn't see my flame lamp lit, and I was like, oh no. I gotta worry about black damp. And I remember I put it on the other side of this timber. You don't want that going out. It means there's a massive depletion of oxygen. Gonna continue down the gangway in this direction. But I just turned off my lights, took in the total, complete darkness, even darker than space when you think about it. There's no light whatsoever. And it's so quiet. It's actually deafening because it's so quiet. You hear your heart beat through your ears. And every now and then I like to freak myself out like this. Oh man, it gets the adrenaline pumping. Here's that possible internal slope or drift or whatever, manway. I'll be checking that out. Massive amount of gobbing in it. Real old school too. That would be my guess. That's all gobbed up. They pulled the rail up. Look at those spikes. That timber took weight. Towards the end of the pillar here, it's a big pillar. It's starting to push out the coal. This whole piece of coal is pushing out from the end of the pillar. I don't know if that's from the weight of the roof, possibly, due to pressure, but not the best thing to see, no doubt. I don't know if that timber too, because I'm right here where that coal's pushing off, if it just simply rotted out or exploded out from pressure. Yeah, I don't think this goes anywhere. Pretty bad collapse. I'm gonna take a look up a little further ahead though. Unfortunately, it looks like it's a roof to floor collapse up there. Oh well. Kind of a shame too, because look at the size of this. This was big. Some sort of main artery. Could have been a muleway or something. I'll have to look at the maps. These narrow gauge rail spikes look okay. And then you go to pull one out, like this one on the far left, out of the rail tie. And where it sat in the tie for so long, it was holding moisture and it just rotted away. The steel rotted away from the moisture. So I figure they got out. You hope so. Vintage. I just really like birch timbers. Such a cool wood. I like how it flakes off. Could these be poplar? I just remembered that poplar is a widely used wood for timbering. Not much rail in this mine. Just a couple pieces. Wow. Look at this. It's all come down, and luckily, right in the main gangway here, it's caught itself on this. But there was voidage here at one time, right around here. And this just went bloop and just compressed it. Whew. Gonna use my spotlight to better show what's going on here. Yeah, it's all delammed. Nasty. Another airway cinder block wall. It's breached. I don't know why they did that. It's so weird. They'd build them just to breach them. This is for a mine surveyor. For shooting his pins or coordinates, whatever you want to call it. Mine keeps going though. Now these timbers, they would have had another piece of wood going from left to right overhead. That's why they call them 3-piece timber sets. They most likely rotted away. Yes! I found another one. Haven't seen one of these in a long time. You know what this is? It's an egg. It's a hard-boiled egg from a miner. He ate it and he tossed it off to the side. They don't rot. Or it could be a prehistoric alien egg from hell itself. I bet you it's that. Wow. So that's probably like World War II vintage, maybe 50s. Little piece of copper wiring that sat with the egg, and it corroded the copper patina onto the egg itself. Wow. You know what? I changed my mind. This is totally an alien egg from hell itself. Yeah, not a hard-boiled egg, but an alien egg. Oh no, actually, it's a Tommy knocker egg. And there might be like a little baby fetus Tommy knocker running around here. Oh my God, it hatched. The egg from hell itself hatched. I don't know what's going on with this small slab of coal, but this is a good illustration as to how coal mine pillars hold up the roof in a mine. And this is like a very scaled down representation again. So this is like your coal pillar. So they would mine coal off to the left of the pillar, mine coal off to the right of the pillar. And they would leave this pillar here, and then it would hold up the mine roof. You can see us rock. This is actually working too. It's holding up a lot. There's a timber here. But look at that little piece of coal. And it's just equalizing the pressure in between the bottom rock and the top rock, that coal. Here's some Sunoco oil. Pack of matches and a pack of Lucky Strikes. I found the matches and the cigarettes together. That was a big no-no, smoking in the mine. I unraveled it and I was like, whoa! That's what my grandfather smoked, Lucky Strikes. Walking further down the gangway, and here's more delamination of the coal pillar. I assume from pressure, again. Could just be from oxidation. Ooh, that is really shifting. I don't know, that coal ain't looking too hot. So this is an uncaved in working. And this is how low it was for them. Here's my pack for scale. And that's the conditions they worked in. Ooh. Respect. Nothing but respect. Nearing the end of the mine, luckily. Look at that roof delaminating. Look at that slab ready to come down. Oh, man. Photogenic, but scary. Just better lighting on this shot. Not walking underneath any of this. Wow. I'm gonna get back 8 on this one for sure. Pretty sure this is an old coal mine inspector inspection tag, because that looks old, and this is what he was inspecting. Not pretty. Just another cinder block wall. And look at this. It says up top, pre-war whiskey. Are they talking about World War I? Because Prohibition was 1919. So, pre-war, so it'd be like, what, 1913 or older? Whoa! All right, this gangway's too sketchy now. Too sketchy, too much collapse. Ironically, there's all these timbers here, and I think they were going to timber it up, and all this started to happen. So they didn't. You can see how that coal is just sliding right off the face. Nice bit of loose rock. Well, this is the limit of advance for myself in this mine today. Probably never coming back to this one. My 2 friends did push hard, and they are hard chargers. And they said it eventually just goes from ceiling to floor collapse. So it's unfortunate, but it's very typical. Look at this. Yeah, I don't feel comfortable exploring it further past this. You have to have good instincts doing this hobby, or you're not going to do it for terribly long, if you know what I mean. You become one with the mine. And I'm seeing stuff like this, and I know it's going to be 100% collapsed out anyway. I'm not going to chance it. And right here at the end, where all these timbers were stacked and never used, you can see another example of a working that isn't collapsed. And it gives you an idea as to the conditions they had to endure to get this coal. Look at a little bit of roof delamination. Woo! Flaky. Getting flaky on me. But yeah, respect to the miners. Yeah, some weird stuff's going on, geologically speaking. I think I heard a whistle down here too, which is kind of creepy. But anyway, look at this crack. And that's all on the wall. See the old working gangway? That's structurally unsound overall, I would deem it. It's not good. This could be ancient milk. I agitated it. It's weird. It's a liquid, but it's just gross in there. And it's kind of thick like milk, but it's watery on top. So, yeah, look. Yep, could be milk from the 50s. Mushrooms growing on a timber that crashed to the ground a long time ago. Interesting. This is a really cool fossil. This is from, I believe, the Pangea period. I think they're called scale trees. It was like a weird hybrid between a pine tree and a palm tree. And it sucked up water on the outside of its bark. And these are the scales that did that. This is the only way in and out of the mine. And it's very steep. So I think it was an air shaft. I really do. There was a mouse crawling up there. That was weird. They were digging upward. It's hard to get the depth, but yeah, they were digging upward here, and I think this was the original air shaft they were going to sink, and they went with this instead because you're going vertical. And that's pretty deep up there. Good 10 plus foot or more. He's going up and out the air shaft. Not much fun. Definitely before mechanization too. This was black powder with hand augers. Not bad, man. And he's up and out. So yeah, just came from the bottom of the air shaft and walked up, and I'm at the portal. This has to be an air shaft because look at that flow. It's doing what it was originally designed to do, to vent this mine. Whew, that's awesome. Look at that airflow. I'm so glad to be done with this trip. I'm looking straight ahead, and this is the way you get down into it. Oh, it's bad. Very bad. Again, this is exactly straight ahead, and it's slippery on the bottom. Look at this though. I assume those are tree roots, because fungus will sometimes look like tree roots or mold, whatever you want to call it, but this is tree roots, and there are big trees right overhead. So yeah, they live in the mines, the tree roots. They get moisture.
So I hope you enjoyed this video. This was a lot of fun to edit, actually, for once. And please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Please try to support my channel the best you can. Let everyone you know about this channel. Thank you. See ya.